Hello, quick introduction before we get into the video. It is now June. I filmed this video back in March. Enjoy the throwback. This is the second video in my Bisexual books reading vlog style video. The first one I read Take a Hint, Danny Brown, which you can watch up there. But yeah, enjoy. This is my reading vlog of Out of the Woods by Luke Turner. Mixed thoughts, but you'll see that. Goodbye. Okay, so here's the situation. Today is the evening. What time is it? 8 o'clock on Tuesday the 23rd. And on Thursday at 7 p.m. is the book club for Out of the Woods by Luke Turner, which is Sophie and Sarah's from the Little Contemporary Corners pick for March, which is non-fiction this month, and this is a memoir. And I haven't started it, but I want to take part. I want to take part in the book club. So my plan is to try and read it before Thursday. It should be fine. I should be able to do that. So this is a memoir by Luke Turner, and all I know is that he is obviously talking about his experience, but also it kind of very much interlinks like nature and the woods, Out of the Woods as well. And that's kind of all I know, and that it's a memoir. So that's it. That's all I know. We'll see. Let's read. Hello. So I am 6 pages into the book. I'm really struggling with the style. It's very I don't know, long sentences. And I was a bit struggling trying to process, maybe because I'm tired, but I have signed up. I don't know how, because I've signed up to Audible before in the past. And when I went onto Audible on the laptop, it was like, no, you can't have a free trial. And I was like, fair enough, because basically I want to get out the audiobook because I think that will help me to read it. And I've never done that before, so it'll be a fun experiment to read the audiobook too. And I listened to the sample and it was helping me understand the book a bit more. So I was like, here we go. But I couldn't get the free trial. But then I went to Amazon and searched the book, and it said you could buy the book for 99p when you sign up for Audible. And then you get 2 months free as well. So basically 3 books for 99p. So I was like, okay. So I did that, and then it just added it to my Audible library. And now I am signed up for a free trial with Audible. It was like a loophole. I don't really understand how. It's not like I had to change. It wasn't like I signed up with a different email address or anything. It was the same one. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm about to start listening to the audiobook too, and hopefully that will help. I didn't account for the fact that when I'm in bed I get sleepy. I'm just gonna have to read tomorrow on lunch and like have a nice reading evening tomorrow as well, and hopefully make a good dent. Hello, it is the next day. It's Wednesday. It's lunchtime. I have been working on the sofa today because I woke up feeling like trash, but not just trash. I just woke up sad, which isn't funny, but you know, laughing is a coping mechanism. So I did some like social media work on the laptop for the morning, and I think I'll go back up to my desktop for the afternoon because I need to work on some PDFs, and it's just easier if I have my 2 screens. Anyway, where's my book? Oh, I've left it upstairs. Oh my god, whatever. You know what the book looks like. I think I'm going to go on a walk now, maybe just listening to the audiobook. The thing is, because I've never read a physical book and listened to the audiobook at the same time, do I need to like get to a chapter break before like stopping the audiobook? Otherwise I'm gonna have to be like flicking through the physical book when I pick that up again. I don't read to chapter breaks. I just read to like when I feel like it. So this is a different experience. I'm also so unsure if I'm going to finish it by Thursday. I felt motivated yesterday and now I'm like, I think also because it hasn't like piqued my interest 100% yet. I'm only 26 pages in and it's kind of hard to read, like it's very poetic. So I'm just like, I don't know, but I do want to get into it a bit more. So let's go for a walk. Yes. I'm listening to it on my laptop. Let's go. Also, I picked up a pot noodle, which I don't really ever eat, but sometimes I eat them when I need comfort food. Today is one of those days. Hello, okay, so I am back at my desk. My lunch break is almost over. I have read a few more chapters of Out of the Woods, so I've been listening to it whilst like reading it physically, and I found that a really interesting experiment because usually I don't do that, and the only time I've done that is when I haven't understood the book. This is how you lose the time war. And I'm not gonna lie, it seems like my brain is like, I am not 100% understanding this book. I am really appreciating some of the commentary slash Luke Turner's thoughts about his own bisexuality and about kind of like hiding specific parts of yourself when around specific people. I can see that it's kind of going to go on a bit of a journey in terms of that. And then on another part, the nature descriptions, some of them are really beautiful, but then like linking together, I'm not 100% getting it. Yeah, it's interesting because it's a memoir, and so I kind of don't want to be too judgmental in terms of like the content, obviously, because it's going to be very personal. And to Luke, clearly, Epping Forest and nature is very personal and it is very intrinsically linked with his sexuality. I think just like the poetic way that it's written is making it quite hard for me to like fully get it. Like I feel like I don't get it. Not that it's anything to get because it's just his life. So I don't know. Memoirs can be hard like that sometimes. Sometimes I find them really accessible and sometimes this one I wouldn't recommend to everyone. I might recommend to like very specific people, but like I don't like, I think the writing is beautiful but hard and I'm not getting it. Oh, I also wanted to give a little shout out to my bookmark. This is Kate, my friend Kate's bookmarks. She does a monthly good news bookmark, and so every month you get sent another bookmark with some good news. You can sign up to her Patreon and then she will send them out for you. It's from her shop, from Catherine Ann. So check that out, I will link it below. It's a very sweet idea and I love it. See you later. Hello. You are resting on a ball of yarn. I look like I'm falling. So, I am listening to the audiobook. I'm not really reading the physical copy. I'm on chapter 8, The Garden, and this is definitely the chapter that's like got... I feel really weird. Let me just sit up a bit. This is definitely the chapter that has like gripped me the most and like made me want to keep reading. So far I've been a bit like, you gotta read because book club is tomorrow, not you go read because like you want to read. Do you know what I mean sometimes about that? But this chapter, so interesting, really talking about like his experience growing up a Christian and it being like quite a positive experience growing up, but then regardless of it still being a positive experience, like his dad is a preacher, the conflicts that he feels within himself in terms of being bisexual, not even just like what was taught to him, but just like a general vibe, and I'm finding it really interesting, and then in turn just also questioning in terms of like in like the heteronormative school environment, people being very heteronormative, and so him trying to come to terms with being bisexual at a young age, which is really interesting. I think it's just really interesting hearing a perspective in which someone knew that they were bisexual from a young age, because for me, I didn't know at all when I was a kid. So it's really interesting. It's an interesting conversation anyway, and it's really interesting hearing someone's perspective that maybe didn't have the words but knew that they liked more than one gender. So I don't know, I'm like not halfway through. I might not finish in time, but I'm definitely still going to go to book club because it's some interesting conversations. The thing is, this chapter hasn't been at all about the woods. There was like one mention of it. So I'm clearly seeing like what I enjoy and what I don't enjoy in terms of this type of memoir. Anyway, I'm going to keep knitting. I'm knitting. And I will probably now check in tomorrow. Have a nice evening or day or morning. Okay, bye. Good morning. I have my breakfast. I'm just having some fruit this morning. I'm having some fruit this morning. Really, really very healthy actually. Every time I crave a McDonald's breakfast, I put it off and then I have it on the weekends. But I'm just so into McDonald's breakfast at the moment. I don't like, and they don't even have many options. Like, I'm vegetarian, so they have an egg McMuffin or the pancakes and hash browns, and that's like it. You could also get like flatbreads and take away the bacon and stuff. What the fuck am I talking about? Why am I talking about this? Anyway, I am really far through. I have 1 hour and 50 minutes left of the audiobook. I have been mostly audiobooking this book, I won't lie. So there really wasn't that much point me getting out of the library, but swings and roundabouts. And I am much more enjoying it now. I'm finding it much more interesting. I'm also listening to it on 1.5 speed. I've never, ever changed the speed of an audiobook. And when I tried, I went to 1.1 and it was too fast for me. I couldn't deal with it. So I think it must depend on the type of audiobook or the narrator or something, because I feel fine with this at 1.5. It's fast. When I go back down to 1, I'm like, he's speaking so slowly, but he isn't. He's just currently speaking really fast. So that's very interesting. I'm intrigued how my audiobook habits will change going forward from here. I'm shooketh, to be honest. I can't believe it. It has just had some very interesting conversations, hard conversations about the sexualization of teenagers. And I will say this book very much has like very graphic male sex, like, and male graphic sexual descriptions. So bear that in mind. But it very much discusses his experience as a teenager and like the things that happened to him, and looking back and like very much are not okay, and very much discusses like male rape and how not talked about that is, to the extent that like growing up he didn't think, and like, as many people do, didn't think that that could be a thing. And talking about how like the sexualization of from old men to young boys in public spaces. Yeah, it's been really like hard to read, but really, really interesting. And how Epping Forest also comes into play in terms of there are places there where people go to have sex, specifically gay men, or queer men. So yeah, really interesting. I'm definitely going to finish it. The book club is this evening at 7. I have to go food shopping on my lunch break, so that's an hour. So then I have 53 minutes throughout the day to so I think we'll manage it. Yeah, so that's exciting, and I'll check back in with you when I've read a bit more. good evening. Don't mind my little bear tucked in for bed here. It is just gone 9 on Thursday. I've had book club. Yay, it was a really nice discussion, and very validating to hear that other people struggled to get into this book and to fully understand this book. I think I'll give you some more detailed thoughts tomorrow. I don't know how to rate it, especially because it's a memoir. Can you hear the cats? Minky. Hello. I'll sit down here and talk with them. I do not know how to rate this book. Because it's a memoir, it feels mean to rate it low, but like I also don't think I will rate it higher than a 3. Is Wiggins under there too? Wiggins? When did you go on? I just got completely distracted by the cats. Anyway, I'm going to give you a full sum up of my thoughts tomorrow, but my short version, my TLDR, some interesting insights into bisexuality as a man, very particular insights into growing up religious and how that affects his sexuality, and a really positive view, which we were discussing in book club, was really refreshing to read, because usually those things come together quite negatively, but he had a positive experience and that was really interesting to see. Interesting insights into his experience with abuse, and finally a lot of trees. A lot of trees. A lot of focus on Epping Forest, and I understand the significance to him, but it was dense to read about trees. Yeah, more thoughts tomorrow. Good morning. I just sneezed like 3 times and I am recovering. Hello, it is Friday morning, the 26th of March, and let's do a little wrap up. I'm more awake now. This book, what did I think? I don't know. I think I've tried to be quite balanced in this reading vlog. I think especially because it's a memoir, I find it really hard. I don't want to be too critical, and I'm trying to like pull away the bits that I can relate to, but it's also just a memoir, so regardless of if people relate to it, like this is his story. So I find it hard to like critique it in a way that it's like, I don't know, it's more challenging than if it was like a fiction book. It was a really weird, interesting one. Yeah. As you've seen, I think I got a lot from it, but I don't know if I could have got those same things from a different book and enjoyed the rest of the book more. Not to say obviously that this memoir is not very valid. There's just a lot of trees and I really struggled. Obviously Luke Turner's connection with the forest, with Epping Forest and with trees is really strong and is like the forefront of this book, and like in turn how his bisexuality then comes into play and how it like mirrors his relationship with the forest and like the kind of growth that he's had with his relationship with bisexuality and with the forest. There's all these like big metaphors, and I definitely did not get them all. The thing is, I said this yesterday in book club, right? I would have liked it more if it was a memoir about bisexuality, about religion, about growing up religious and bisexual, and the really positive experience he had with that. And some struggles, but like it was a really positive representation and I really appreciated that. So I would have liked that to be the focus with like a sprinkling of trees, but what it actually is a book about the forest and like, but with talking about bisexuality. Like it's very heavy and dense on the forest. I can't really stress this enough. So that might be some people's 100% jam, but that's what I would have preferred. But then, like, who am I to be like, I would have preferred this from your memoir? Like, it's his memoir. Like, he can write what he wants, it's his memoir. So that's why it's so hard with memoirs. It's like, I would have preferred this different life that you have not had, you know? Yeah, that's that. I don't know how that sums up into anything, but it was an interesting read. I think so I ended up mostly audiobooking this actually, and I think if it wasn't for book club I probably would have DNF'd it. So yeah, but I didn't force myself to read it. I got into it, and I think the second half of the book has a lot of value. Thank you for watching this episode of Bisexual Books with Jazz. I don't know if that's what it's called. Bisexual reading vlogs. Whoop whoop. If you have any recommendations for any bisexual memoirs, please leave them below. The only other bisexual non-fiction I've read is The Bi Dash Ball. I am keen to read non-fictions and memoirs, so leave them below. Thank you for watching, and if you are here and you watch to the end but you are not feeling in a commenty space, leave me a tree emoji. What else could it possibly be? I will see you in a new video. Bye.